Hello there, I'm Big Alias. I didn't do it like a angry gnome just then. For anyone who doesn't watch my channel, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And even if you do, you probably still have no idea. I usually do my hello there like an angry gnome. Is it an angry gnome? Or I guess just anyone who's angry and old. I guess, depending on the gnome, I'm not necessarily saying the gnome is old. It may have the qualities of an old man. That's not to say it is. And I want to talk about something other than this right now. I want to talk about something, content creation. Online entertainment content creation has changed so much over the years. And that's one big thing. One thing I've always wanted to rant about on this channel and finally have an opportunity to. I hate the fact that the term for creating like entertainment on the internet is now called, it's just content. To the point where it's really perpetuated even on YouTube. If you go to your YouTube studio, you have like your content studio, this is where you put the content. The word content just means thing. Imagine diluting the creative process, the thought that goes into it, the editing, the use of the equipment, scripting, all of that stuff. Imagine just diluting that down to this is a thing. This is thing I made. And I hate the fact that there's two things, that and the fact that the people who make this stuff are now called influencers. That immediately ties them to a monetary process. Whereas, previously you'd have like entertainers, you'd have comedians, you'd have actors. Now we have influencers. So our famous people, now I sound so old right now, but our famous people now are called content creators, which is people who make things, or influencers, which is people who have the ability to influence your purchasing decisions. These are the two brands of people that we have on the internet making entertainment, and that is so sad, and I think absolutely accurate and indicative of the situation that we're in. And that's what I want to talk about here. I think the process has changed so much, and I rack my brain over like the ways in which it's changed. And in this video I just want to talk about one of those ways, and that way is the way that we view the overall package of entertainment, in how much of a backdoor we provide to the situation, and why that's placed there, why there is the back door as an entrance. There's no way out of this innuendo. Why we're entering the back door during our content. And how different that is, because previously, I think one of the biggest differences was previously we'd have like a thing that we wanted to make, and we'd make that thing, and the experience of having that thing and watching that thing and experiencing that thing is that it's there and it's either funny or it's entertaining or something like that, right? Like it's something that we can watch and have a good time with, and either we're like, oh my god, look at that fight scene, or look at that explosion, or look at that, how funny was that joke that they made, or like even in the online space, oh what an interesting situation these people are in, stuff like that. That was what it was about. That was why we created that stuff. And I think the biggest difference now one of the biggest differences, because there's so much to grab a hold of with this, is that we're so much more involved in the process of the content creation, and so much of it is about the creation of the content that we're watching, moreover than the content itself. And we're so obsessed, and I think it's an extension of voyeurism, where we're so obsessed with like why this is being made and what's being made and what the cause and effect of it being made is. We're so obsessed with that we're not really focusing on what's being made. It's hard to come up with an analogy, but like nowadays we've had a video, or let's say in the past we have a video. Let's say for example in like 2007, 2008 we'd have a video where it's like, okay, the last one to have their hand in the air doesn't have to eat a gross slice of pizza that's been out for 2 weeks. And it's like Bill and Ted, there's the two of them and they're holding, they had an excellent adventure, and they're holding their hands up, and the last one to have their hand up doesn't have to eat that gross slice of pizza. And then I was like, oh no, Bill has to eat the slice of pizza. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, look, oh, it's gross. He's going to vomit. Oh, disgusting. Oh, that's awesome. But I feel like nowadays, there has to be like some sort of stake, right? There has to be a stake to it. And I don't just mean on the pizza. There have to be like, oh, Bill, the last one to hold their hand up. It would never be about pizza anymore. It would be like the last one to hold their hand up gets £10,000, because there has to be like some sort of monetary stake, because we're obsessed with money and money and money and money. But we're also, obsessed with stakes, and it just can't be just innocuous and entertaining anymore. It has to be that. But then there would be like, okay, so why did Mr. Beast do this? Is he doing it for ad revenue? Is he doing it for like to sell merch? Oh look, there's a merch plug at the end of the video, and so much about it will be like, oh look how many views he has. This guy invests invested £10,000 into this video, $10 into this video. That's absolutely cool. Mr. Beast spent $10,000 on a video. I heard he gave $150,000 to charity last week. Oh, look, for this one, he had to get freaking Keanu Reeves into the video to play Ted. Or, you know, it's just... It's not, it's so much about the process, so much about like, oh, how was this made and why was this made and what is the end goal of this being made, that we can't just watch a thing anymore, you know. And I'm guilty of it too, probably more so than most. I've said many times on this channel that I watch Moist Critical. He does that all the time. You know, all of these commentary channels that I watch, they're doing it. I love watching Jarvis Johnson pick apart Shane Dawson's awful, terrible conspiracy theory videos. And again, like, the whole reason those blew up is because he had controversy with, you know, beauty bloggers and started rubbing elbows with people that maybe he shouldn't have. And that led to, you know, people talking about him more. I'm assuming him. I'm so sorry if it's they or them, or I'm not sure with Shane. But yeah, it led to all of this, and you know, people talking about them, and suddenly people watching the videos. It's not because they're entertaining, it's because they're entertaining. And when I, you know, I went from they apostrophe RE to no, it would be apostrophe RE for both, but you know what I mean, you know, the two different versions of there, and it's just, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like it. I kind of just want to be entertained by something, and I've definitely, you know, shifted views in terms of that. I started watching people like Mind Pulp and Obo Shoes gaming, stuff like that, where it's just like, you know, I'm gonna watch some people play some video games and be goofy for a bit. I don't really care about, you know, the process of it being made and stuff like that. And if you feel the same way about me, then give it a shot. You know, try something a little more innocuous and less effective, and see how you feel about it. Anyway, it's just some stray thoughts, and well, I guess I'll see everyone later. How about that? How's that sound? There's my cursor. Let's go.
The PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.